This is SBOM Comparison in Zarf 0.23.6. My name is Jason Van Brackle. You can reach me at the contacts below if you have any questions about what you see in this video, or if you want to hit the Defense Unicorns team. A lot of them hang out in the Zarf channel or in the Kubernetes Slack. So today, we're going to talk about what is a software bill of materials, and then we're going to demonstrate the SBOM Comparison tool in Zarf. So, a software bill of materials, or SBOM, is all of the metadata about a particular software artifact that could include its dependencies, its authors, anything that could help protect the software supply chain. So for example, a CI/CD system may have a policy engine that looks at this metadata, this software bill of materials, to make decisions about whether a piece of software can be deployed. It is a formal specification. There are many different types of formal specifications of SBOMs. It is machine readable, and it can contain both open source and proprietary software. It has a number of components. This includes software provenance, keys, signatures, and attestations. What is software provenance? Software provenance is all of the authors, known or unknown, as well as dependencies of a piece of software. So all of the dependencies of that software. So the key pairs are just like you'd be familiar with a private key infrastructure, SSH signature keys, your public key and your private key. Your private key is protected that you use to sign various pieces of the SBOM. The public key is what others use to make sure that it was signed with the private key. We have the signatures. We have different types of signed artifacts. This could be source code, binary artifacts, as well as container images. So what does a signature look like? In this case, Alice signs the artifact with her private key, sends the signature, the artifact, and the public key to Bob, and Bob is able to use the public key to determine that that artifact was signed with the private key. You also see this in areas like GitHub. These are snippets of code that I have committed to GitHub that I have signed with my private key. GitHub has a copy of my public key and can verify that the signatures match between what was sent and what was committed. It doesn't prove that it was me. It just proves that somebody had my private key. In this case, these are mine. I know that I sent these in. So what is attestation? Attestation is claims made about a piece of software. This could be what tests were performed, who performed them, CVEs, when it was done, how it was done. What that means is attestation makes verifiable claims about software provenance, can include tests and test results, can tell you what scans were done, and makes other claims about authorization that allows policy engines to make decisions about whether or not software can be deployed. So to compare this to signing, attestation goes one step further. In this case, Alice signs not just her code, but the attestation about claims made about the artifact with her private key. Just like before, that signature, the artifact, the SBOM all get sent to Bob with the public key, so Bob can prove that those artifacts were signed with the private key. And the big picture looks a little bit something like this, where within your continuous integration system, artifacts get built with provenance records, then downstream, somebody else's policy engine can take your software bill of materials, prove out that certain claims were made that should be made, and make deployment decisions based on that SBOM. And with that, let's show off the SBOM comparison tool within Zarf. If you haven't already, you can install Zarf. Follow the install now instructions on the website, zarf.dev. If you want to see more about the development of the Zarf software, you can go to github.com/defenseunicorns/Zarf, and you can see the latest release in the /releases sub-URL. For our demonstration, I'm going to use an example from the Zarf code base, that being the Minio example. Make sure you already have Zarf 0.23.6 or later installed. If you have anything earlier than .6, the SBOM comparison tool will not work. Let's go ahead and create this package. Zarf package create. Now, once this package is created, I'll actually create a separate output for the SBOM so that we have two different copies. So I'll create the package, grab the SBOM, modify the package, create it again, grab the second SBOM. I'll fast forward here so you don't have to sit and wait for this to build. Okay, we have the package created. Let's grab the SBOM. Zarf, package, inspect, SBOM out, and we'll do SBOM old. And there we should have a folder up using this package. We should now have a folder that has this specific SBOM in it, or the set of SBOMs for the software, and we do. We have SBOM old. Let's go ahead and modify the software and create another one. Let's see, this is using 4428. I believe the latest version is 458. Let's give that a try. All right, so we've modified the Zarf YAML file for the package. Let's create this new package. Again, I'll fast forward. Now that both packages have been created, let's grab that second SBOM. And we can see now we have two different SBOM folders. SBOM old and SBOM new. Let's go ahead and open up the tool set so we can do the SBOM comparison. Again, we can use the inspect action on the package down to open up the tool. But instead of this time, instead of SBOM out, we're going to just say SBOM. So this viewer should look familiar to you if you've used the SBOM. So this viewer should look familiar to you if you've used the SBOM. So this viewer should look familiar to you if you've used the SBOM viewer before. The compare tool is in the upper right-hand corner. Let's try it now. Let's choose our old file for our old SBOM. Going into our examples, Minio. Find the SBOM old folder. Let's grab that Minio operator, the one we changed the version for. So we'll look at the 4428 version, and we'll compare that to the 458 version. And run the comparison. And we can see here all of the various things that changed or were added, and if there were removals, we'd see those as well. So very simply, we can compare two different software bill of materials to see what has changed from version to version.